high-scoring point game to be able to start pushing themselves up the leaderboard, and XEG want to be able to consolidate their lead as everyone now races. GG getting into Secret Tunnel first. LXM already having the V2. Toxic Shroom now coming into play. Do we get a spit connection? There's one. It catches onto so many players. GG also got their hands onto the fireplace for that Yushan, and as a result, there is so much stagger coming through. XEG yet again try to drop onto GG, and it does not work out for them. GG with the better loot pathing managed to pick up all of the fireplace. Tesla V1 does connect onto GG, but that is going to be all she wrote, as in that small enclosed space, so hard to dodge out of the spear throws, even harder to dodge away from the Yushan stagger follow-up. GG make that Valda composition look natural.
I absolutely love to see the Valda popping off as well, as now we're cutting over to OUG versus JDG, instantly able to secure themselves one kill there. Lovely little turnaround coming out from you, but I don't think they're going to be able to do too much. Keck on their lonesome, surrounded by three, is just going to try and blink away, throws down the whiff, isn't going to make the connection. They sustained it up as long as they could. OUG quickly putting a dunk in here, as now we cut over to TE, who've got themselves in a three-way exchange. Everybody just parting ways from this action, though. I think it was getting a little bit too hairy, as JJH actually summoned the Bane's Breath just to cover their escape, make sure they're not going to be getting jumped by anybody, as WBG heading away. They're not wanting anything to do with that action, and very, very explosive start across the board, but right now it looks like everybody is separating and heading in different directions away from one another, although JL have come into line of sight of WBG, and JL right now is a little bit scattered. If they do take this fight, this could get a little bit hairy. Waiting it out for just a brief second. TXJ advancing forwards, has got himself the pole sword, a purple one as well, so he's going to do a lot of damage to that one. Aizhao immediately getting his armor stripped away from him. The Tessa comes down with the lockdown on the ultimate. TXJ being forced back by two members of WBG. Hello, health bar going low, coming in with the ultimate, trying to just find that lockdown, find that stun for his team. Sleepwalker able to just about jump out there with a perfect parry dive, and now we do see JL jumping away. Pixel perfect dash there from the Tammy, just a break away from the Valda. Beautifully played.
Yeah, flawless interception as well coming through from Bygate on that Cicada. Sees that the Viper was able to find the F2 connection and potential follow-up into charged RMB first stage of that pole sword, and immediately intercepts with that grab. And now we get to see Wolves on this Transformer composition going head-to-head with KLA. They've already lost one of their players. EG is going to get the F3 tether to make sure that he survives that window of activating the ultimate. Gets staggered out back, however, by the Farrier cannon, and as a result is not able to find the grab. The tether already having been invested means that ZK is not in position to try and find the revive onto XEM, who, if he was brought back, could immediately move into using that Yushan ultimate, but as a result they just are not able to, and EG is forced into just trying to scatter away from his Karumi and hope that KLA gets split between going after one of them and the other is able to survive and potentially regroup with their Yushan when the respawn comes on through. This was why it was actually really smart from JJH at the very beginning to prioritize picking up a Bane's Breath, because as we've talked about for the entirety of this season, one of Transformers' weakest parts of the game is early, right? Your ultimate is scaled, your health off of the armor that you have equipped, your damage off of the weapon that you have equipped. So you become incredibly weak to things like the Siphon composition, the Sand Siphon composition, and that Viper F3 chunk of damage coming through. But JJH picking up the Bane's Breath, they avoided the situation that Wolves now find themselves in. They had the Bane's Breath to retreat to if their Monk Transformer got challenged before they had the equipment to actually justify having the threat when the transformation goes on through. And as a result, Wolves, it's silver lining for them, right? Your EG, your Monk Ultra is able to keep living long enough that you buy your Karumi the disengagement. So you do still have a rebirth on the player who with Tether can bring back one of your downed players before you bleed out. It's very smart actually from Wolves to prioritize having the Karumi having that rebirth.
Yeah, actually really, really smart play from them. But I've seen Wolves pull out the Monk quite a lot this season. I really don't think it's a good comp for them. I think Wolves do not suit this comp all that much. Watch me eat my words at the end of this game.
I was going to say, normally the MVP games come off of that Transformer game.
I feel like it's such a coin flip with them though. And obviously, I know we are talking about early game, and you know, Monk obviously struggles early, but I just feel like Wolves are. I've always thought they've looked better when they're playing more aggressive comps. Comps that are going to take these fights. They're going to jump inside the realm of Yangs and stuff like that. And obviously, Monk will be jumping into the realm of Yang, but I don't know. I personally am not a massive fan of it because I think I've seen more failure than success. Maybe it's me. Maybe I'm the problem. I don't know. Not overly sold on it. They are all back up though. Had to use 2 of their rebursts to get themselves going. Having a look at JDG right now, just grabbing themselves that purple armor, so they're not particularly weak right now. Pretty comfortably set up. OUG are still leading the charge after an absolutely phenomenal game number 1. Them and KLA popping off. OUG 6 kills under their belt,
Leo.
up to 30 points. Leo avoids and evades getting caught out there. T actually are very spread. SS, did he
wait, hold on a minute. SS goes purple invisibility bush, gets hit by the Tesla V1. Hardy has to use the glider to try and break away and regroup with the rest of his team, but unfortunately the V1 is gonna stagger him out entirely. The cube comes on through. That's why he went for the ultimate activation, so that he could escape that follow-up coming on through and maybe live long enough for the rest of his team to help him out. Where is the rest of TE? All of their players are currently alive, but looking on the minimap, I see absolutely no one that Leo is in range of. Maybe this is a strategy lead OUG on a merry goose chase away from the rest of the team, just the way we saw Wolves, but that feels like it was a huge miscommunication coming through from TE in terms of where they were split. As WBG could potentially take this fight against JL. Looks actually like we are interrupting a fight that went out between the two. However, WBG having the much better disengagement, able to put themselves underneath Waterfall, pick up those Fireflies, and as a result, extend Baige's ultimate duration so that they can turn on JL, who understood that WBG got that better positioning and are in full disengagement mode at the moment. As Baige... Yeah, still has those 3 shoves. The rest of his team doing a very good job of making sure that they're able to keep JL occupied. TXJ with the Viper V1 is going to be able to find 1 stun onto Sleepwalker. However, Baige, with those shoves, make sure to interrupt the Viper before they can collapse on top of the staggered eye play. A really good peel coming through from WBG. Karumi ultimate now invested as well. Tessa V1 is going to mean the 3-second stun window buys JL the time to set up the Witch and teleport, as well as find the revive onto TXJ. And we go right back, deja vu. We have been here before. As JL kite over to the no ult zone and drop it before Sleepwalker's in position to use the Tumult ultimate and keep it in play even when the no ult hits. And as a result, WBG going to be taking a little bit of downtime before this fight resumes.
Yeah, it looks like WBG are going to be getting away. It does sound like the Realm of Yangs are spawning up. So we'll keep our eyes on that one and who's going to get their hands onto those Realm of Yangs. I'm going to be very excited to see these first ones. So Balder looking to get their hands in. Actually, no, they're just playing interrupt on DRG, not letting them get in range. Peak about to get locked down. Yoran forced away, jumps inside. Did have to use an F, but...
That's the Matarial.
Back up. That was Matarial used. They needed to get a win. I think that was just too dangerous for them. Now they're in a really rough position taking this fight here versus JJH without that Matarial. Yoran staying up in the air for the moment as Godly is going to get himself a grab onto Yoran. No Matarial to keep him going as he is just being cooked, slammed down. Can he find the re-grab? It looks like Yoran's able to put himself away from a bit of distance, but he is in danger, going so low, able to evade getting caught out, but he does go down mid-sky. The interruption may not have got the kills against Balder on the team who was doing the interrupting, but Balder, they just paid the heavy price there. Down they go. JJH only have 1 last player to finish up. Peak on their lonesome. Got to pull off a miracle 1 versus 3, and I do not think they've got that one up their sleeve. As JJH get themselves just a freebie, to be honest.
Well, JDG still having to fight for it, though. They went to the School of Wolves in terms of Transformer. Karumi ultimate has already been invested, as now we get the closer coming in through from Tutik on this transformed unit. Does he manage to find any double grabs? GG currently trying to play around the pillar. Unfortunately, it kites them directly into the Yushan. However, they're able to focus him down as the ultimate had already been burned out. And now it's just avoiding. No, one grab comes through. Immediately has to go for that slam. Drops out of the ultimate, uses the jump to put himself onto pillar and get himself a little bit disengaged to try and come in with the charged RMB. That was the parry bell coming through, but GG did not fight into it, and they'll be able to pick up their win inside the realm of Yang. Circling back to that fight with Bauda, it's really unfortunate that they had to use the Matari ultimate as they entered the realm of Yang. Not just because it means that you get denied one reset of the Zai free. One huge reason why Matari with Zai works so well is that the V3 gives a health sustain. As speaking about, we're gonna have to go back to that as GG immediately taking a fight against JJH. There comes the Valda F3 to clear up the space. Parry of V3 now gets dropped for the team to put themselves into the second that they get challenged by that transformed unit. Godly is able to find the stagger, however, onto Free before he can come in with that cannon and stagger the monk instead. As Godly is looking for these grabs, can he find it? Chu Lui having to invest the ferry mech as well. If Godly drops out of this transformed unit and they get third party, they do not have the ferry of V3 to cover for the Tian Hai when he's vulnerable. And here comes the third party. Bauda having to take a fight almost immediately because of that Yang depletion. Godly incredibly low, managed to grab Peak out, but didn't find the slam follow-up. Godly absolutely decimated. Free will be able to claim the kill. Did Bauda manage to grab the Soul Bloom, however, as the Matari ultimate comes through. 3 resets of the F3 and Bauda take the hard engagement. JJH's Chu Lui now is the player that they turn on to. It's going to be Yiran making sure to isolate that player, push them away from everybody else in the area so they can pick up the Soul Bloom when they drop. As in the meantime, GG take advantage of Bauda taking all of that attention and turn on to the remaining players of JJH, and it goes down to a slugfest. Yiran with another F3 gets the connection onto Free, and the damage off of the back of that will be able to claim the kill. Peak sets up the sustain, uses that zip ultimate to make sure that GD do not get any disengagement and exit trades before they revisit the Soul Altar. That was a very, very fast ripping of the Vermilion Bird's Might. However, it's going to be JDG who are running it back in. They've understood that Bauda utilized all of those ultimates, was scouting the area, watched the investment come through from the Matari, from the Zai, and now they take their rebirth with their Yang depletion and their full sets of free ultimates to have the better advantage in ultimate economy.
That was really, really well played by JDG. They had that depletion on them, so they wasted a lot of time, but they were watching in Ghost form, waiting for the moment to jump on the winners of the fight. JDG, their third party may come back on them. Bauda, their third party may come back around to fight them in the backside as Yiran jumps away to safety. JDG keeping the pressure up onto the side of Bauda. Jing low HP. They need to get these kills. They need to get these cleanses because they wasted a lot of time waiting for this opportunity. Jing buys some space. The cannon shot coming in secures the kill. Peak gets countered by 2-Tick. 2-Tick puts a whole bunch of pressure in. Will cleanse himself, but in comes JL with the third party, locking them down with the urn. 2-Tick finds himself in danger, has to pop the bell, has got a transform, is going to use it. He is the only person on his team cleansed, but he is stun locked in place, and 2-Tick is losing oh so much health. The rest of his team still trying to keep the pressure up onto XCG. And now JL, this is complete carnage. KLA have joined into the action. There is just a bloodbath coming through. So many teams scrapping it out. JDG don't have much longer left of this debuff on the players who didn't cleanse themselves. I don't think they got enough Soul Blooms. I think they only got one.
They got it for the Tian Hai. The Temi and the Kurumi are still lacking. But there are so many teams in this area. The question is, who still has ultimates? XTG held on to theirs. So if a fight breaks out, they're definitely the ones who have the advantage in terms of that firepower, and as a result, they are going to try and force one. JD's Kiki having to just take this fight in the hopes of being able to lock some of these players down before Yang Depletion hits them. Tessa V1 is going to be able to connect. NiHQ able to come in with the Dragon Slayers into Nezhaz, fully locking down the players, but KLA sniped the kill away. Cuckoo with the bow shot is able to claim the last hit, and XCG sensing that, okay, there are too many teams in this area, we've had to utilize that Tessa V1, the first cast of it. We do not want to overstay our welcome. They throw in the Witch and teleport. They're not able to find the kill, but they will be able to guarantee their survival a little bit longer. As a GG off of revisiting that Soul Altar, also showing up onto the scene as outside Shipwreck. We get to see where the last player from JDG tried to run away from, and that unfortunately was the player who were able to cleanse Yang Depletion, Jake, and he gets found out by OUG, and that is JDG entirely knocked out of the lobby.
Oh, still a pretty stat lobby as JJH are going to grab himself this realm of Yang. It doesn't feel like Realm of Yang ended that long ago. That's how much action we had after Realm of Yang. But it feels like we are still in the tidy up phase from the first one. But no, JJH have grabbed themselves a Mystic... No, Draco Storm, sorry. Wow. Interesting Draco Storm, actually. I know some teams do favor towards it. It feels like it's White Tigers or... I've forgotten the name of the other one. White Tigers or Mystic Might are kind of the go-tos nowadays for your second buff, but OUG getting themselves in a little bit of a scrap here versus WBG. They've got the lockdown with the Viper. Ajiao getting himself in some serious danger. They got the lock, they get the kill. OUG having an absolutely killer performance in this game. 10 kills deep already. Make that 11. They're now just chasing onto Sleepwalker. JL are in the area, but Sleepwalker desperately making a run for it. OUG, though, they are keeping the pressure up. They are keeping the chase going. They are so in control of this game right now, but just having a look at the overall court scores and the kills
towards
right
JJH.
Oh, no, Sleepwalker. Does get an armor swap off, makes himself a blueberry, but has been able to break away. He's going to have to hope there's rebuff charms about. Otherwise, he might be in trouble. Rings the bell just to make sure that no forceful can ring on him, but also has some idea. JJH, though, with this Draco Storm, hunting in the area. And again, just looking at the skills.
Yeah.
It's OUG leading the charge with 11 kills, but GG have 8. They could catch up.
I mean, it was a huge near miss as well coming through from OUG. They were chasing WBG Sleepwalker, and if they'd actually committed to that, they could potentially have ran into a JJH who have legendary weapons as well as that Draco Storm on the field and are looking to try and take a fight. And that would have been devastating for OUG, having 11 kills, like you said, but running into a team that you are not prepared to take on because you're running up against a Transformers team who have the Draco Storm and that additional damage to qualify having that kill confirmation a lot easier when you're running up against some of these players and not having to rely on double grabs instead would have been such a tragedy if they get knocked out before they could find a good kill multiplier. And like I said, it goes back. The reason why we saw so many of those players piling onto that one fight after Yang Depletion is it's macro. They understand that these teams are taking Yang and teams are going to get hit by Yang Depletion. As a result, all of those teams with Yang Depletion are forced into taking fights. So all of the teams in the area are going to consolidate in that space and look for the third and the fourth party. And the fact it wasn't just one team looking for the third party, it was pretty much every single player in the lobby, again, returns to that whole storyline that all of these teams, not just the top ones leading the scoreboard at the moment, have significantly stepped up in terms of understanding the tempo and overall macro. So I would not be surprised if yet again we see things just slow down to a crawl compared to the sprint that we had previously, where everyone prioritizes having that multiplier. As GG have been able to make this Valda work a lot more efficiently. This time around, you can definitely tell that the time has been the one thing that they were missing. They now had that luxury to be able to work out all of the benefits and how to play this Valda composition, especially in terms of taking fights in a position where the V2 is harder to avoid. It's going to be a little bit harder to have that decision-making, though, when Final Zone comes through, because Valda is just the fact that when the CC comes through, you only get one hit. When we have so many of these teams in the area, it's not just going to be your team that gets to play off of that one hit, right? Everyone is going to be able to take advantage of that CC. And worst for GG, if they're not immediately able to take the engagement off of that one hit, if they're not fully prepared to follow up, someone is going to be mucking up the timing of that one with a swap over to something like a bow or a musket or just the cannon AoE pressure coming on through, and the Volder is going to fall apart.
It does feel like everything has taken a little bit of a cool-off in tempo, so to speak. 10 minutes until the circle fully closes, so it's still plenty of time. And for now, it just looks like the teams are just kind of grabbing what loot, what resources they can get for this next stage of the game. And 26 players left in this circle right now, so it's definitely moved faster pace than the previous game, but it's still, as far as the rest of the season goes, this is a pretty tame game. The season has been very explosive. I mean, we've seen like 11, 15-man lobbies to close the games out on. And by this point, would be relatively close to that. And it feels like the teams are pretty okay with just playing it a lot more chilled in the tempo. I do think this is partly due to the fact that we have seen, you know, some major changes in the way that obviously Zip works. So the teams that Zip encourage do encourage this this kind of style of play, this more aggressive style where it's more teams that are designed to either take Roma Yangs or take final circles than it is teams that are just looking to constantly skirmish. We still have, you know, the Blind 8 comp, which is currently being taken out here by OUG. Actually, OUG are on the Blind 8, so they're still kind of playing that that style, that aggression, and they're just so strong right now. 12 kills under their belt. OUG, the last game was denied by them by KLA because KLA popped off of 15 kills. OUG did a lot of work to get to that spot where they also competitive, and this is them at the beginning of the game. They've just been constant aggression. I'm loving them on this comp. They look so good for this Tessa.
This was them finding TE at the beginning of this game, and I'm pretty sure that was them, before we cut to this replay, managing to take out one of the hiding members of TE, which says to me either TE only had one teammate left and were just trying to play for better survival, or had so much pressure on them that they had to just play for a split. Maybe a bounty got put on their head. But no, the thing for OUG is the fact that you can play this composition full uptime for the entire duration of this match. The Tessa composition is so good at hunting down stragglers, and this is the time where you can see that they're rotating, they're trying to figure out where these players are going to be hiding. There it is. Yeah, TE went for a split play, unfortunately for them, and OUG on this hunting path have been able to find another player from the side of TE who was hoping to hide inside cave. And OUG figured, like, okay, this is potentially going to be where our player is hiding to play for survival. Kited over there, found the Yushan, forced the ultimate. Can they find the kill before LYD runs them into another team? That is the way that he is going to be able to survive. The ultimate's about to drop out, but I think he's done potentially enough. He runs through so many different teams. That being said, the grapple cancel comes through, and the chances are it's just out of the frying pan directly into the fire. He might have denied the kill for OUG, but he's now served himself up on a silver platter to all of the other teams in the surrounding area. He had no choice, though. He had to run into all of these other teams in the hope that OUG backed off or got taken into another fight in a 3v3 and allowed the Yushan to slip away unnoticed. Unfortunately, OUG back off, and one of the teams in the area spots the Yushan trying to slip away and turn on him instead.
Yeah, it was a lose-lose situation. He did as much as he could do to prevent that from being a lose. But unfortunately, there are just, with the fact there's 24 people in the lobby, odds are if you run from one team, you're going to run into another. OUG's SS has actually lost a fair amount of HP, but they got themselves in a nice little corner where they can heal up. GG got their backs to the zone, facing walls right now, but are out in the open. See, a couple of cannon shots do come down. The Bane's Breath actually is going to get someone dead center in the zone, and GG going to keep this little area, and if Wolves move too far over, they might move into OUG's pocket as well. Meanwhile, atop the high ground, you can see JJH just putting some pressure on to JL and all of the other teams. DRG up on the high ground, but JL are the ones currently in the pincered spot as they are losing a lot of HP, getting absolutely slammed by the cannons.
It's the
A lot of
armor.
damage coming out on TXJ.
They've got the legendary armor on the Viper, and all of these teams want to knock JL out to be able to absorb that armor. We do have 2 Transformer teams still currently in play. Wolves have been able to make it to end zone this time around. JJH also, like you said, trying to just keep themselves safe, play for that better position, so that when the ultimates come through, Godly is going to be in position to start finding those grabs almost immediately. As OUG trying to just pick up some of those resources before everything gets picked clean. We have 24 players in this lobby, which means those resources are going to be getting incredibly scarce. And since they don't have either a Kurumi or a Z-Ping, it is so important that they stock up on the Vitalia and those shield potions, as we're going to see JJH start to put more pressure on some of these teams in the center. Flames Breath and Rupture Gale going to be attached to that cannon, as we could see the fire tick just shredding through QGG's health very, very slowly. Hardy variant of the cannonball composition is going to be up for KLA. XCG weren't able to put it to good use in the previous match. KLA were able to use that. Takeda, however, OUG getting absolutely home run baseball bat style into the zone. Managed to use Wu-Chen teleport to reposition, but unfortunately that was a glaring signal flare to a weakness, and DRG homed in on it immediately. Jinyu goes down to another bow shot coming through. Massive Viper ultimate, as well as going to slow down the other members of XCG into a Tessa V1 as Windspout comes on out from Night HQ. KLA taking advantage of the Chaos Knight coming in with that Hardy ultimate, wanting to get the last hit, pushing some of these players into really rough positions where they're going to get focused and lobbied down for the rest of KLA's members. As off of the back of that one, DRG might go out of this lobby, as XCG unfortunately losing 2 of their players, and that might be them eliminated. It's just the Wu-Chen left.
OGG losing their Viper is going to be such a detriment to them now. They really needed them for those final circles, and this is the chance for the likes of KLA, GG, DRG, although DRG have lost 2 players, so maybe not them. A lot of teams are in some serious danger, but OUG fighting back even with the man disadvantage, forcing Wolves away from this Spirit Well as they're trying to control it, but JJH are in the area. Meanwhile, on the low ground, we can see JLTXJ has found the lockdown onto a couple of members of KLA, but they are just getting hit by the cannons on the low ground. One Fang is going to be able to finish up a kill onto Cuckoo, though, for the side of JL, putting another kill on the board for them, able to step away and reset. Everybody else is still quite happily fighting for this Spirit Well. Godly inside the mech,
in the bush.
gonna transform in. He's gonna get some damage down onto Wolves. Wolves can't shoot back in, and Wolves are getting absolutely railed by the cannon here from Godly. You can see JL have the pressure
in the
onto
bush.
them.
When Spirit Well gets captured, they're going to sneak in and grab all of the loot.
This is going to be an explosive moment from OUG. Are they going to be able to pull it off, or are they going to get instantly punished? The loot goes pop. OUG actually don't reveal themselves. Being down a member makes this a little bit too hairy for them, but GG have now joined up on the high ground. LXM waiting for an opportunity to kind of pounce with that ultimate and try and take out a couple of people for the side of GG. 9 kills under their belt. OUG just playing sustain. Here comes the transform from GG. Gonna use the mech already. One Fang under fire, but 330 doesn't really position himself that well. EG gets himself a grab onto Chewy. Chooks for the slam. Can he find the re-grab? Godly actually gonna shove EG back as he's now just playing the reposition. GG playing safe on the side of the zone as Godly is fighting out with Wolves here. It is just carnage inside this final circle. 14 players left as Godly is cooked. 330 is going to be able to secure that kill. Actually gets a second one as well onto EG, and just like that, GG are up into 11 kills. JL popping the ultimate from his Viper, looking to lock down multiple people. TXJ is able to get onto 330. 330 goes down to TXJ, and JL are back in the game with 4 kills under their belt. It is absolute carnage still, though, as JL able to take out Flames, jumping up into 6 kills at this point, as they are picking up kills left, right, and center. JL are popping off in this final circle. The parry coming in from TXJ, knocking ZK into the zone, knocking him back. JL in control, in demand right now, as the Viper ultimate comes out from TSJ to lock everybody in this circle down. CJS finds himself caught inside the zone. The pole sword will finish him up, knocking him down, taking him out, as now JL keeping the damage down. But we do actually see LXM do some work with the Valda, but he has a lot of work to do against everyone. GG's LXM is able to take down Chalui, as OUG's SF is going low. It is all of the high kill teams going toe-to-toe. The last man standing will decide everything. The Wushen port, the reposition coming in. LXM playing on the outside of the circle, jumps back into the center, gets a whole bunch of damage down, but I find him in some serious danger. JL able to get something, but LXM actually making a hero play happen. He gets himself the heal, he gets the turnaround. VVV, low HP, LXM, no way is he gonna do this! 1 versus 2! He pulls it off!
Okay, so the thing is, GG, the second that the Valda and the Yushan live into that final zone, they win heal-off situation. If it goes to heal-off, GG take it.